right, so it's time for a garden update. These are some tomatoes. I can't remember what kind. I think they're one of my friends gave me that are like a pink hybrid or something like that. But honestly, I can't remember. But they were kind of knocking on death's door when she gave them to me, so I needed to cut some of those leaves off. These are some blackberry cuttings, of course. Oh, all the gnats. Oh my goodness. It's been raining all day, if you can't tell. This is my glorious dill. I haven't decided if I'm going to plant that in the ground or if I'm going to leave it in a pot somewhere. This is moringa. I planted 3 seeds and I think the other 2 might be germinating, but we'll see. And I believe these are the full-size moringa, like the big trees. You'll see in a minute that I also have some dwarf moringa seeds germinating. And this is a Meyer lemon tree, bush, whatever. It's already got a lemon on it, so we'll see. Oh, look. Oh, yay. Okay, so it's a long story, but this banana plant right here has been dead and alive and dead and alive and dead and alive. And it came back alive in the compost bin. So anyway, I put it in this pot to see if it lived to die another day. And there's a sprout. And then that's one that just was overwintering. And it's coming back, although I'm not real sure where to put it, but maybe you guys can help me with that. Honestly, I can't remember what kind of tomato that is, but I think all of the tomatoes that were like about to die, I just put them in these pots, and they'll probably still die, but we'll see. This is my leftover Tithonia diversifolia, the Mexican sunflower that is used for chop and drop. I have some planted out there, and hopefully they grow. It's okay, babe. You don't have to be quiet if that's what you're worried about. And these are some grapevines I got from a neighbor, so hopefully they do well. Oh no, it's losing leaves. You know what? I transplanted it. I didn't realize it wasn't all the way rooted yet, so I'm a little bummed about that. So I might have killed them, but we'll see. They're probably gonna die anyway, so these are some marigolds that desperately need to be transplanted. I started transplanting some of them, but there's no more room for any more marigolds in my garden, but we'll see. I might make some room for them. This is still marigolds. I planted a ton of French marigolds because I was having a problem with root knot nematodes last year, and those are supposed to deter them. So also, you'll notice a trend that I am really bad about labeling things. I always have the best intentions, but this is some kind of bell pepper. I don't know what that is. I think it's some kind of pepper though. That's a tomatillo. Anyway, whatever. And a lot of these are not labeled, so I'm not going to go through all of them. But I definitely have some zinnias in here, a whole bunch of marigolds, which I'm going to have to find somebody to give them to or something. I hate throwing away plants. And then these are the Mexican sunflowers, the Tithonia rotundifolia or something like that. They're just pretty flowers that get really big, and they'll grow in our nasty soil that we have. And so I started some of those seeds, and I had never grown them before, so I wasn't really sure if they would all germinate, and they did. So now I have a bunch of them. Again, no idea where I'm going to put them. I have a ton of calendula I've started, although I'm finding out it doesn't really care for the heat. So we'll see how that goes, because already some of them are dying, and it's the beginning of April. So, and then some dahlias, which I've never grown before, but I'm really excited to. Some white borage. I have a bunch of the regular purple blue borage out there. I was trying to root some lavender cuttings, but that is not working out, as you could tell. They're dead. Some random tomatoes. These are some bush cucumbers. I don't know where to put them. And then I didn't label the flowers when I uppotted them. Those Mexican sunflowers, and then some dahlias. I believe these are dahlias, but I'm not 100% sure. So, I mean, we might have some surprises. Par for the course around here. But I do have some exciting stuff over here. Oh, here's some blueberry cuttings I got from a friend also. They look alive. That's what I can say about those. And then these are, sorry if you keep hearing my Crocs. They're like wet and muddy, so they're like, oh my gosh, and I'm like eaten up by what are those things called you said that keep biting me? He's not listening. He said they look like gnats, but they bite. Oh, no-see-ums. Anyway, this is shampoo ginger, and so there's a few rhizomes in here, and I have 2 sprouts, so I'm super excited about that. And then I'm trying to root some sweet potatoes, but we'll see. That is elderberry. I'm not sure if it's ready to be planted yet or not, so I'm just hanging on to it for now. I'm gonna see if it like grows a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's all the exciting stuff I have going on over here. Let's go out to the garden. So like with most things, you have to use your imagination. So we just reconfigured the entire garden. So we had raised beds out here, and I decided I wanted to try something different. I'll have to explain sort of the system in another video. But yeah, so I have some stuff that's really growing well here. On this trellis, I have some cucumbers, 2 on this side and 4 on that side. So hopefully this will be covered in cucumbers. That tomato and that tomato, the ones that are doing fantastic, those are Floridade tomatoes, which hopefully will do well in the heat. So we'll see. Obviously you can see some basil back here in all its glory. We have a few nasturtiums around here, which I've never successfully grown. So this is as far as I've ever gotten. So I'm real happy about that. And then of course we got some marigolds, as we can see, these beautiful things. I can't wait till they bloom. I actually really love the way marigolds look. And then this is kind of funny. So you'll see this little peat pot. It says my son's name, Ryan, on it. At school, for a spring project, they asked all the parents to send in seeds, and they were like counting them and all that kind of stuff, and they planted them before spring break. And then, you know, after spring break, of course, they were all grown up, but all the tags fell off of them. So the teacher sent home mystery plants, and I said, well, you have no idea how much that fits in. And I went ahead and took the bottom out of it and put it here. And I wasn't sure if it was like a bean, like a climbing bean, so I went ahead and put this like cage on it. Oh, who knows? I have no idea what it is. And funny enough, before we tilled up all of the raised beds, I had planted a whole bunch of bush bean seeds, and some of them keep peeking through. So that's what this is, but that's not gonna make it. So, and that over there, that's what that is. So it's kind of funny, but anyways, I'm gonna be real honest with you. There's a whole bunch of random mystery tomatoes in here. I believe this is an Everglades. Some of them I know for sure are Everglades, but yeah, that I think is an Everglades tomato, which is going to take over this entire area before long. This is a high bush blueberry plant that I transplanted from a friend's house. So it's, you know, gone through a little bit of transplant shock, and I had cut some of it off, but I think I'm going to wait to cut any more off until the winter, because she's been through a lot, you know. Over here there's some flowers and things. That is a borage plant, and hopefully it grows really big before it gets too hot, because I think it needs to get strong before the heat comes. I think that's the key there. And of course we have I think that's a borage also, and then those are marigolds. Let's see, should we go to the raised beds, or let's keep going in these? Let's keep going over here. So, man, my Crocs are like super noisy. Excuse me. I have a cold or allergies or something. I don't know. These are probably Everglades tomatoes. We'll go with that. I believe that's what they are. I think this is one of those bush bean plants that just decided it wanted to live. You know, that's what I need. You know, you want to live? Go ahead. Marigold, of course. This is another high bush blueberry plant. This is one that I had. This is one of the very first plants I bought, and I believe I've killed it. I mean, I think some of it's alive. I'm gonna like try to baby it. It's a long story. Hopefully it lives, but it's probably not. Calendula. marigold, calendula, borage. Hopefully any of this grows, but we'll see. Oh, this is a this is a comfrey root that I'd planted. It's peeking up, if you can see it. There it is. And then further down here, that's a Mexican sunflower, and this is the end of the row here. I got a chip drop here, and so that's what I've mulched the pathways with, and then these ends of the rows. So anyway, we'll go to the second row now. That's a Mexican sunflower. I have them on the end of each one of these rows. That right there is a big marigold. Hopefully it's good. That's the first one I planted, so that's why it's bigger. These are blackberries here. Nasturtium there. And a marigold. This is, I don't know if it's a Roma tomato or, I don't know. It's a Roma tomato. It's some kind of paste tomato. Yeah, something like that. But I can't remember which one it is. And of course I didn't label it. Why would I do that? And then a nasturtium, of course. That is another blueberry plant. That's one of the ones I bought 3 blueberry plants. Those are my first plants. This is one of them. This is, what is this? I put this here because, of course, I didn't have a label. Chamomile. That's what this is. This is chamomile. And I don't really know how to thin it because the seeds were super tiny. And so that's how they grew in the little cup. So I just kind of dumped them out, and I kind of thought maybe some of them would die and help me out on the thinning part, but they don't look dead. So I don't know. I also took a chunk of them and planted them in another place, which you'll see in a minute. Marigold. That's a tiny little marigold. I've been planting them randomly throughout the last few days. So calendula. These 3 tomatoes, I believe, are Romas. But it's some kind of tomato. We know that. We got a marigold. Also, in all of the beds, I had planted a mustard cover crop, and some of those seeds are still popping up. So that's what that little tiny thing right there is. I need to pull it, but it's not hurting anything. That's a blueberry plant, that one of the ones I bought originally. This is some more of that chamomile, so we'll see how that goes. That's a calendula. All right, so I think that's it over here. My beautiful strawberry bed. This, in theory, should have came out with the other raised beds, but the strawberries were doing so well, I didn't want to hurt them. So in the winter, whenever they go dormant, I'll probably transplant them into the rows and pull this bed out. Because the type of gardening system that I'm doing now is where everything's interplanted together. So I'll explain more of that another time. All right, let's go back through. So I made these trellises as like a little walkway through, so that way I didn't have to go around every time. Let's see. Okay. You know what? Let me go on the other side. Sorry if you guys are getting dizzy. Hopefully you're not. Okay, so let's start on this side. So we have some borage. Looks like that one's getting eaten by something, but I guess they can have it. All of God's creatures have to eat, I guess. So, these are Everglades tomato plants, these 3. They were in their cups for way too long, and they were like dead whenever I put them in the ground. So this is actually a pretty good improvement. So, we'll see if they do anything. But my husband jokes that Everglades tomatoes will be the last food on earth after the apocalypse because they just grow. Nasturtiums, calendula. I hope I get any calendula. I planted a lot of it because I really want to try making salve. So these are some canary melons. I don't know if they'll actually grow, but if they do, I hope I can make them go through here. I'll explain that in a minute. Marigolds, that is comfrey, which I need to move it, actually. I'm probably going to move it later. maybe tomorrow. Anyway, these are pole beans. This trellis here is just some fencing that's kind of rickety. We need to make like some kind of brace to go along the bottom out of some scrap wood we have over there. But you know, it'll happen so that it just doesn't blow so much. But anyway, the pole bean seeds are starting to pop up, so that's cool. We talked about the comfrey over here on this side. So this row is not, I wasn't planning on planting anything in it. Like, it's not prepared. Like, it doesn't have good soil. It has the nasty native soil and all that kind of stuff. And I just put this mulch over it to like protect it while I was, you know, in transition. But this comfrey is supposed to grow in even poor soil because it has a super long taproot. And if you know anything about comfrey, it's a dynamic accumulator, which means it pulls up nutrients from the soil, and you can use it for chop and drop. You can use it for compost tea. You can make a comfrey tea fertilizer with it, and like it's really good for fertilizer. That's why I bought it. So I kind of did an experiment and moved most of the comfrey over here, and it's doing okay so far. So, I mean, that's cool. And then you'll see over here, there's more comfrey. Oh, just this one. Okay, that's a comfrey. This is one of those Mexican sunflowers, the Tithonia rotundifolia or whatever. Tithonia rotundifolia, I think. Anyway, it's just it's like a big bushy flower, and it's pretty, and it grows in this nasty soil. And then of course we have a Tithonia diversifolia that is good for chop and drop, and again, you can use it to make fertilizer, things like that. So these are in their beginning stages, of course, so hopefully they grow. I really hope they do. They were just sticks when I bought them, so we're off to a good start. And these are Everglades tomatoes, these 3. Okay, cool. Something's been eating that. That is fantastic. So I need to go deal with that. That is a rosemary plant right there, and a marigold. These are Seminole pumpkins that all sprouted at the same time, so I'm gonna have to thin those. We'll see which ones get the biggest, and I'll deal with that. I had 2 of these ground cherries here, but one of them got taken down. So I think I have some kind of like, what are those things called that like eat the plant from the stem? Because that's kind of what happened here. But yeah, it was like real devastating. I was sad, the whole 9 yards. This is a rosemary. I mean, no, it's not rosemary. It's lavender. I took some loppers and like chopped it all the way down because it was like spilling over on both sides. So I gave her a haircut, and she still seems happy, so she's good. We're back over here to this rickety trellis with the pole beans that will grow up this, and it will be glorious. That is a Everglades tomato, of course, and nasturtiums. Let's go check out this this carnage. See what's happened over here. What are you doing? What happened? Who hurt you? Okay, let's see. I don't see evidence of who hurt you. Tell me, girl, who done it? See what happened here? Did I accidentally step on it somehow? Huh. Okay, well, let's put this in the compost, and we'll see if it grows back from that. Okay, I'll meet you over there at the trellis. Right. So this bed is also going to come out at the end of the season, and then the rows will continue all the way down. So then it will just be one straight row all the way down, and then the trellises in the middle will still be there. That's where I've put my compost for now. That used to be one of my two of my raised beds. They're stacked on top of each other, and they're just kind of stacked all over the place. So I said, hey, let me just throw my compost in here. That sounds easy. So that's what I've done for now, but that place will be a trellis walkthrough as well. And there may be a 5th row eventually, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay, so now that we've done that, this is a tromboncino squash, and there's squash babies on here. So I hope they flower soon because I'm super excited to watch this grow because, I mean, it's just exploded and it looks happy. And so that makes me happy. This is also a tromboncino squash that got started after, but it also looks happy. We might need to help it grab the trellis. I think it's liked the rain. We all know, I don't know what that is. We don't know. There's not a lot planted in here. These are some of the cover crop that's popping up. That is some kind of melon, but I don't know what kind. I can't remember. That is a strawberry I rescued from another bed from getting tilled under. These are poblano chilies that I rescued from a seed starting tray that I murdered. Long story. That's a calendula. It's the biggest one I have, but it is definitely getting eaten. Must be delicious. Okay, that's a crimson sweet watermelon. Oh, look at me. I have a label. Look at that. Winning. That is a scarlet runner bean that my friend sent me the seed for. It's the only one I had. And I didn't plant it close enough to the trellis. So it is not running. It's just a scarlet bean. It's not running at all. But hopefully it'll grab the trellis. We'll see. Because they're supposed to be really pretty. This is another crimson sweet. And it looks happy. I think this is, I don't know what that is. I think it's a bush bean that I rescued from the getting tilled under. That is a sunflower that hopefully grows. You know what? Sunflowers are another thing everybody grows, and I have never had luck with them. That's a jalapeno. This is part of the cover crop. And these are some kind of tomato that my friend gave me that I just stuck in here because I didn't have anywhere to put them. Because I have too many tomatoes. I don't even eat that many tomatoes. But I will definitely make sauce if they all grow. Burgundy okra. So my plan for this bed is around the end of May. I'll probably plant it with sweet potatoes. And then let them grow until I'm ready to harvest them. So that's what's going on here. Now, let's talk about our trees here. Oh, no, hold on. Let's not. So I just made this today. It is going to be where I plant a lot of flowers. I have some more dirt to take over here, and then I have some mulch that goes in here. It's not this, it's different mulch. It's what I have on the beds over there. So hopefully this will be beautiful. What am I hearing? Anyway, and then there's some burgundy sunflowers I have that will go in the middle. Hopefully that will be very pretty. This is a plum tree that my friend gave me, the same friend that gave me that. And I cut it all the way down. It was really tall, but it's growing back nicely, so that's cool. And then over here, this is one the same friend gave me, and we can see that it is struggling. I've cut off a lot of it, and then I stopped cutting it because I thought, man, I'm cutting a lot because it was really tall, but it was like dead. Then we had a freeze right after. It was a whole thing, but it's starting to grow back from the bottom. So this is one of those things I was like, okay, I'm not gonna cut any more off until it goes dormant, and we'll go from there because it's also getting transplanted. All these trees are getting transplanted into the rows after they go dormant as part of the system that I'm doing. This is a pear tree I got for Mother's Day last year. It is a pineapple pear tree, and I have murdered it. I am sure it is hanging on to life. So it will get if it stays alive, it keeps growing from the bottom. I don't really know what that means. If it hangs on to life long enough for it to go dormant, I will prune it way down, transplant it, care for it very well. So I'm going to try to baby it this spring and hopefully revive it. I have another pear tree over here. This is where my compost was that we dumped into there. The label fell off, so who knows what kind of pear tree it is. Maybe I don't know. But it bloomed and then now they're all black. So I need to Google what the hell that means because, yeah. And then like the trunk is doing this. Girl, I don't even know. So anyway, I'm pretty sure this is dead too. I probably need to cut it all the way down in the winter whenever it goes dormant. I don't know. Should I do it now? I don't know. Maybe somebody's watching this that knows anything about pear trees. Man, I feel bad about what I've done to this thing. Anyway, this is a satsuma tree that was given to me by that same person. They were moving is what happened, and they couldn't take their plants with them. So she's like, come dig them up. And I was like, okay. So I did. I don't know anything about satsuma trees, but I think it's okay. I know it's spiky. I do know that. But it's all yellow, and whenever I looked that up, it says overwatering, but I mean, you know, the good Lord said it wants to rain, so that's what's happening. But yeah, so this is an overview. So we have to use our imagination a little bit because it's a work in progress, but I'm really happy with it so far. I mean, I'll make a whole video about the type of system I'm doing, but I am, did I talk about my mint? I planted the mint there and I'm sure it will take over, but I'm just going to keep chopping it back to use as chop and drop because the bugs hate it and it's a dynamic accumulator. So hopefully we'll see how that works out. It's kind of an experiment. Anyway, the gardening system that I'm doing is from David the Good. If you follow him, he has a blog and a YouTube channel, and he is also an author, and he has a book called The Grocery Row Gardening System, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. It's the guidelines I'm following. So you put all your perennials and your annuals in rows like this, and the idea is that everything gets the same amount of attention, and it's kind of like a food forest but more organized, and like, you know, the most productive part of a forest is its edge. So the idea is each row is a forest edge. So I don't have it all the way set up because obviously I don't have any of my trees in here because I want to wait for them to go dormant because they've already been through so much. And so there will be a fruit tree every 12 feet. So yeah, that's how it will be set up. So the rows will be extended further once these beds come out, and then anyway, it'll be from there. So it'll be a fun thing to you know, see it transform and grow and all that. So I'm excited, but I'm really happy with how it's turned out so far. And I think the plants are all doing really well so far. So I'm excited about that. And this year I'm going to try to use no pesticides. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, like nothing. Not even like neem oil. So we'll see how it goes. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, I think that's all I have for now. Yeah, okay. Well, you guys have a great day.